Introverts of Reddit, what is something that extroverts don't understand that you wish they did about you being an introvert? It's not that I don't like you, or I don't like my family, but socializing is work for me, not play. It's not relaxing. It doesn't help me stop worrying. Quite the opposite. Yep, there's only a few people I feel genuinely pleased to be around almost all of the time, and in some cases even those few people can be draining. I can handle 2-3 people if the environment is quiet. I don't do crowds or loud places. Invite me to hang at your place, out for dinner, or to a movie. It's dark and I don't have to talk. Don't be insulted if I don't want to go bar hopping with 54 of your closest friends. I prefer to eat alone at lunch breaks at work. I don't want to sit with so many people together. But that doesn't mean that I don't like my colleagues. I just need that time for me and I don't like big groups. We can go in a group of 2 or 3 people. More is too much for me. Just because I can be chatty and friendly doesn't mean I'm an extrovert. Sure, I can engage with people, but it's freaking tiring and I need a lot of time on my own to recover from all that smiling and freaking small talk. There are 2 kinds of people. Those who see silence as something to enjoy. Those who see silence as an invitation to start talking. I like quiet times. You're so quiet. Say something. Look, I have nothing to add to the conversation. And I freaking despise being put on the spot like that. I don't want to be alone because I hate you and bored of you. I just need some time to relax and chill. It genuinely has nothing to do with you as a person. I just really need to relax and recharge. I've spent time and money making my place the best place to be. Why is it so wrong for me to want to stay in and enjoy it? Just because you like going out and socializing with people, it doesn't mean that I am missing out on anything, or that my lifestyle is any less valid than yours. I don't mind being around people. I just like to listen and watch. Don't take my silence as a negative. When I hit my limit with people, I need to be alone to recharge. Being an introvert or an extrovert is about what gives you energy. I can be outgoing and an introvert. I have fun in a small group, but when everyone decides to go somewhere with a long queue or waiting time, implying that it is busy and loud wherever it is, I just go home because they literally chose to do something that makes me miserable. I'm not quiet about the kinds of things I go out to do and don't expect them to think about only me when it's a group. But I also feel like they're ridiculous to act offended when I decide to go home when the vibe changes. For example, our favorite brewery is closed. Let's go to the club then, to avoid putting myself in a stressful situation which will make me cranky, at best, and downright paranoid, tired, feeling nauseous. Most likely, when they start talking about going to city centers, I'm immediately thinking about my PJs. I mean, imagine having a cat and being like, let's go get catnip. Then the catnip store is close, and everyone is like, now let's take turns throwing each other in pools of water. No one would judge the cat for noping out of that. When we're having a bad day, or are under stress, or upset about something, we just want to be left alone. Encouraging us to open up is really not going to help. When we're ready to come to you, we will, but until then, please just back off. Yes, prying just pisses me off and makes things worse. I love you, but I don't want to talk about what I had for lunch. Small talk makes me want to die inside. I need a lot of time to myself. It is not personal and I need and want you in my life. If we don't text you or avoid you in public, it's not necessarily because we don't like you or find you annoying. I am not saying that's impossible, but for me it's often because conversation with people in general can be quite exhausting if it becomes too much, and in general, I am not much of a talker. Conversing in general is something we can't do too much. We need a lot of me time. Please be understanding. This right here. Extroverts don't seem to get that I'm more okay with cracking open a beer and having a quiet conversation at home than I am with going to an overpriced nightclub where we have to shout just to hear each other. 1. We are not crazy about pleasantries. 2. But we are grateful to be able to count on you in social contexts. 3. We know how to activate our extrovert side when necessary, except that for us it's exhausting. 4. Before socializing we must prepare ourselves mentally, so try not to reserve last minute surprises. 5. Once the limit is reached, we may feel the need to leave a party or event as soon as possible. 6. For us, spending time alone is a necessity. We can't help it. 7. Please do not force us to make new friends. We will do it our way, with our times. 8. We are not lazy or boring just because we need to stay home for one night. 9. And if we don't want to go out, do it without us. We'll be fine at home. 10. If we are silent, don't worry, it doesn't mean we're crazy. Please keep inviting me to things. I know I say no a lot, and if I do say yes I sometimes just wind up off to the side reading a book, but it's devastating when others give up on us introverts. We don't really want to be this way. Also, if we are willing to hang out with you more than we do anyone else, it probably means that the relationship is hardcore in our minds. Exactly. Even if you know they'll say no, invite them anyway. It means a lot. That it doesn't mean that I'm shy, or that I'm snobby, or that I dislike everyone, or that I literally never talk to anyone. It just means that I tend to not initiate conversations, and it's no more of a decision on my part than being left or right-handed. Also, asking how come you never talk is a horrible way to start a conversation, so don't do that. Why are you so quiet? That it takes me 2-3x as much mental energy to publicly interact with people as compared to extroverts. After that, I completely shut down and cocoon myself. That I like talking to people and I'm not socially awkward at all. I just need to be alone quiet sometimes. Too many people lump introversion and social anxiety together from the outside. And from the inside, people with crippling social anxiety often excuse their problems as just being introverted. For a regular introvert when we are completely indistinguishable from an extrovert. That's me. I work in the field with teams of other engineers, and I go just as hard as the rest when we're working. But after 12+ hour day, we head back to the hotel and I don't want to hang out at a bar, go out for food, or hit the pool. I go to my room and sit in the silence because I have to do it all over again the next day. I need that time to wind down. The word introvert has been perverted at this point. Yes, I can have fun being out in social environments and even be perceived as outgoing. The only thing separating extroverts and I are that we like to recharge our batteries by being alone and watching a movie or reading a good book. An introvert going out every single night is quite tiresome. When you invite me to lunch to catch up, please don't invite a bunch of other people too. I accepted because I wanted to spend time with you. Having a bunch of strangers there will only cause me to feel awkward and trying to leave early. Extroverts are like energy vampires to us. We only have so much energy to give before we become exhausted and need to recharge. Alone, trying to guilt us into staying will only lead to us declining your invitation until you stop trying to make us stay. That's why you should always pull an Irish goodbye before they have a chance to guilt you. That yes, while I love going to skate parks on the weekends, festivals, and the city parade with all you, that doesn't mean that I'm like that all the time. And yes, I do sometimes lie about being busy just so then I can stay at home to recharge and be alone. Introverts aren't shy necessarily. I presented to 200 people last week. We just don't need a ton of people around to get our energy up. I absolutely need notice for most social things. I will usually never say yes if you ask me to hang out the day of asking, particularly if there's multiple people there. I need time to psych myself up to going. So please give me plenty of notice or expect a turn down 99% of the time. It goes both ways. Extroverts often gain energy from social interactions. Introverts spend energy in social interactions. Both groups don't fully understand this in my experience. Saying you're quiet or something like "oh, you speak" is extremely annoying and singles us out, which is really uncomfortable. I even got told at my old job that I'm quiet, which made no sense. I made an effort to talk to everybody but I didn't spend every minute having conversation because I'm at work. Being alone by myself isn't always just be being depressed or not happy. If anything, having a good balance of alone time and social time is more healthy for my mental state than always wanting to be with my friends' family 100% of the time. I have had so many people ask if I am okay, which I appreciate the concern, but I'm just trying to be alone for a little bit. Introverted equals being socially inept, bitter, or shy. I am perfectly capable of socializing, being enthusiastic, speaking up in public, etc. I just don't want to do it all the time. Sometimes I like sitting in silence to gather my thoughts about future plans, think creatively about drawings, writing I want to do, or just take some time to alone at home, usually without pants or makeup. When I get to work or when I'm working, just leave me alone. I just want to get my work done, but your constant in your face "good morning, how are you" crap is really getting on my freaking nerves. Freaking preach. I love it when you come around and talk to me and include me in conversation with others. Please don't think I don't want to spend time with you just because I'm not saying much. I'm just awkward and afraid I'll ruin the mood by saying the wrong thing. I don't feel like hanging out today does not mean I don't want to hang out with you ever. So many people stop extending invitations after I turn them down once. If I'm awkward or don't have a response to something you said, it's not because I'm mad at you or wasn't listening, but it's sometimes hard to externalize a response. Please don't be mad. I'll probably spend more time thinking about what you said than you did, and if I find the right words or response, I will contribute them, maybe days later. Our mood drops when we don't have time to recharge from social interaction. And there is like one person in the world who we can stand to be around 24/7. You are exhausting to be around. I can only take you in small doses. That doesn't mean I don't like you. I just can't be around you 24/7. A lot of extroverted people seem to think that there's something wrong with being an introvert, like they are to be pitied or need to be cured somehow. It's just as valid though to think of extroverts as people with an unhealthy dependency on being with other people, as though they can't function or cope with being alone at all. Neither is correct though. Being introverted is no more of a handicap than being extroverted. We just have different areas of strength. Also, introverts are perfectly capable of being around people and making friends. It's just tiring for them to do so, and they need some quiet time afterward to recharge. This is very different from social anxiety, but a lot of folks seem to get the two confused. I am not a loner. Alone time is healthy for me, and I prefer to be alone than go to a club with obnoxious repetitious sounds, dropping acid and drinking booze. It's not relaxing to go out and hang out with friend in a bar or disco. It's the exact opposite. If I'm tired, I'm definitely not gonna go. They can't seem to understand it, as these places are fun and relaxing to them, but for me it's exhausting. I'm okay with it time to time, but it's hard work for me to go out and get a drink. Just because I prefer to be alone doesn't mean I like being lonely. I do like talking, just not really about cookie cutter surface stuff. I like it when I can listen to you talk about deep stuff. It's fun and makes me feel like you care about me to tell me this stuff. It doesn't even have to be personally deep either. We can take a deep dive into film, animation, books, history, etc. I like getting to know people on a deeper level. It's just that I don't want to talk all the time about meaningless stuff. I have one co-worker who is one of the few people I could call a friend. Why? Because he understands that even if I'm rarely responding, I'm still listening, I'm still enjoying the conversation, and I'm not trying to be rude. Everyone else just walks away when I only respond with a slight nod. Also, if you ask us a yes or no question, could you please look at us? It's a lot easier for us to nod or shake our head than to say anything, especially since I sometimes go hours without saying anything. Stop crap talking me because I don't walk around hugging everyone I see at a funeral. I go, I commit sad, I say goodbye to the body, I'm respectful, I give condolences, and I go. Just because I don't hug everybody in range doesn't mean I don't care. We have a few friends that we like to hang out with. Other than that, I don't want to be friends with your friends, so I'm good on big gatherings like bars, etc. I'm not going to your party for me, I'm going for you. Please don't try to make sure I'm having fun. I don't want to have to lie or hurt your feelings. Just because I don't want to go out, doesn't mean I am lazy or anything. I just want some me time. Second, don't try to get us out of our shell. It won't work, and it will only annoy us and make you look bad in our eyes. Though I seem like an extrovert, I'm really an introvert. I don't like hanging out in noisy or high energy places. I seem extroverted when I have a clear role I'm comfortable with. I'll give a speech before a big audience happily, but I'll feel terribly awkward milling around at a club. The moment I feel like I don't have a purpose or am not doing something, I feel really self-conscious and uncomfortable. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.